Poke Nerds, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here. Wednesday, November 19th. Fired up right now. I am absolutely fired up because I have had a fantastic, phantasmal Pokemon day. Gonna dive into what I did with my Phantasmal Flames Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. I actually got two, still got one of them. We'll talk about it here today. Phantasmal Flames, how you can kind of look at this Phantasmal Flames experience and use the knowledge you have from being in the hobby for, more than a cup of tea and use that to grow your collection. Because in the end, for me, and I know for a lot of my viewers, it really is all about the collection, the singles collection, the card collection. I'm in this hobby because I love the cards. We talk a lot about the market. We talk a lot about sealed on this channel. The reason I do that is to make the hobby more sustainable for myself, to make the hobby work for me. And we're going to dive into that right now. Really appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It's all Pokemon all the time. So, Phantasmal Flames dropped last Friday. What was that? The 14th, I believe, something like that. It's now Wednesday. I actually thought that my order got canceled. I think I must have entered the wrong email address or something like that because I never got any communication, but lo and behold, got home from Jaguar's press conference today, and the Phantasmal Flames box from the Pokemon Center is sitting at the front door, which was really exciting. So I still have one, and these do look incredible. They look incredible. I'm tempted, potentially just keep this one for a while and see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. The devil on my shoulder, aka Alex, you know who you are, is also tempting me to open it. I do need the Charcadet Pokemon Center ETB because I love Charcadet. That's one of my favorite Pokemon. Ceruledge is top 3 for me all time, regardless of era. Ceruledge is one of my ride or dies already. So Charcadet obviously evolves into Ceruledge. I also love Armarouge, but having the rarest, most exclusive Charcadet card that there is probably something I want. But probably the better play would be to just buy the single Pokemon Center stamped Charcadet and potentially move on from Phantasmal Flames. And I did move on from one of the ETBs. I did. The reason I did so was because I wanted a bunch of singles that my local card shop had today. Rally Point, shout out to you. Shout out to Jamie. And so I traded in one Pokemon Center ETB for 10 different singles that I was absolutely fired up to get. And most of them are cards that I have been really wanting in my collection for a long time. And if you know me, I collect a lot of Japanese. So most of this is Japanese. Some of it is English. The reasons I collect Japanese: more bang for your buck, better print quality. I mean, the textures on, specifically the special illustration rares, special art rares in Japanese, blow English out of the water. And I just saw one of my buddies up there, and he actually had the brand new Mega Charizard graded. He graded it himself express and got a PSA 10. The texture on the Japanese card is insane. Insane. And Charmander's face isn't covered up, which is great. It's actually, price-wise, those two cards, English versus Japanese is getting pretty close. It's easier to pull in English than, a lot of special illustration rares have been lately due to the small set size and the special illustration rares being 1 in every 80. But let's take a look at the cards I picked up, just to kind of illustrate to you, again, how you can be a savvy collector. If you're someone who values singles and you're not just into super high end, you can take a brand new box that you paid $60 for from the Pokemon Center. And yeah, you might have to sit in line. But look, when I got this Phantasmal Flames, I was out in the middle of nowhere trying to stay connected to the internet, was able to do it on my phone. Like, if you're really committed and you actually, not everybody can do it during the workday, I realize that, but make friends. If you can't get it, maybe a friend can get it for you. Build community. But the bottom line is, you can turn something that's cost you $60 into $200 worth of singles that you've wanted for a long time, and make the hobby work for you. Whatever you value, figure out ways to make it more sustainable. Whether that's grading, whether that's, again, picking up, MSRP products and being able to trade them into your game store and pick up a bunch of singles, right? So anyways, I'm excited to share these ones with y'all. Keldeo from Black Bolt, White Flare. Oh my God. I love this Keldeo card. Keldeo, to me, is an underrated mythical. It's so sick. I love the colors on this card. I've wanted it for so long. And again, the Japanese cards look better. I think Japanese is a much prettier written language. If you need evidence of that, just go look at the Japanese mega cards that have the giant English text written over them, or the English cards that have the giant Japanese text written over them. Tell me which art looks better. To me, it's not close. It's definitely the Japanese. It's a much more beautiful written language. And then you've got the better textures, all that stuff. So got the Keldeo, got the Hydreigon as well from White Flare. Gosh, such a... I think Jodo Jakes talked about that. This card is so metal. It is so freaking metal. Oh, man. It's exciting. It's exciting when you can do stuff like this. Especially because I was like thinking I wasn't even going to end up getting this because I never received the communications, but I think I entered the wrong email address, whatever. Okay. Continuing with Black Bolt and White Flare cards that I picked up. Zorua. Absolutely love Zorua and Zoroark. Love a moon in the background. This card with the different blues and greens. Stunning. And so is the Zoroark that goes with it. A lot of the same colors in these two cards, in these two scenes. Zoroark's another kind of ride or die for me. Zoroark and Zorua. Love those. Absolutely love them. How about Raging Bolt? This is also to kind of illustrate how cheap Japanese cards are, if you're interested. Raging Bolt. Prismatic. $12 in Japanese. $12. So cool. And you can really get your light out and you start just moving the cards around or go out in the sunlight, touch grass, whatever the kids say these days. And those textures in Japanese are incredible. Okay. We'll go ahead and go to the Mega. Latias. Akira Egawa, one of my favorite illustrators of all time. Such a good card. And I didn't check all the prices on these because, it's there. I want it. I know that they're within a reasonable range. Absolutely love that card. That card's received some hate. Also, picked up the Palafin. This is just such a cool card from Prismatic. Terastal Festival on the Japanese side. So unique looking. And again, the textures. Unbelievable. And then did Houndoom. I already have this in a PSA 10 in Japanese, but wanted one in just a raw copy for the binder. PSA 10s. As y'all know, for me, I pick up graded cards. I don't really care about them in my personal collection. I do that as like the side hustle to make the hobby more sustainable as well. And then I also got Pidgey by Jerky from Obsidian Flames, which, obviously everybody's connecting Obsidian Flames and Phantasmal Flames right now. But got the Pidgey. Jerky did a illustration collection with Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. Pidgey and Pidgeotto both have an illustration rare. Pidgeot has the special illustration rare. And they're not connected arts, but they are all on theme with traveling the different routes through Kanto, which is really cool. Definitely a throwback that reminds you of playing the games as a kid. And then I also got Sizor. Been wanting this for a minute. $10, pulled the trigger. So, what an unbelievable haul. Like, think about opening a Phantasmal Flames Pokemon Center ETB. Yeah, you're guaranteed your Pokemon Center ETB stamp promo, which is definitely great value. And then you're guaranteed 9 packs. Well, is it 11 packs now in the ETBs, PC ETBs? Whatever it is. I mean, you're probably going to pull a couple standard EX cards, whether those are Mega or the non-Mega. Probably going to pull 1 illustration rare. And, you know, that's probably it. So, yeah. You can turn 1 PC ETB into a whole bunch of cards you want for your collection. Obviously, the smartest thing to do monetarily would be to hold on to it. Right? But the number one thing for my collection, for my hobby, is raw singles. I absolutely love collecting the cards. Let me know how you are helping or having the hobby help you, how you are trying to kind of gain an advantage. That's what you have to do. Pokemon is expensive right now. It is insanely expensive, right? It was a totally different game when I could go last year and pick up a booster box for $80, $90, $100. Times have changed. So you have to adapt with those times, and times will change again. I think Phantasmal Flames is going to get a lot cheaper. I think that there's going to be a lull in the market at some point on a much wider scale than just on a single set. I don't know if it's going to happen with Mega Dream, which is now like Ascended Heroes in English is what it's going to be in January. But I do think that will happen eventually, and when that time comes, adapt again. Figure out how to make the hobby work for you, how to not spend every single dollar you have in this hobby, because you can do that. You absolutely can. I try not to. Really appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.